Ladies and gentlemen, on tonight's episode of the D&N Show News Today, I guess, we have News Today. I am one of your two hosts, D-Nag, and this here is...
Natsu.
Alright, this is, yes. On today's sports, it is, as we're recording this, it is Sunday football, week number 3. And we have a lot of exciting games that have transpired before Sunday Night Football. To start out with, the Miami Dolphins are looking like one of the most monstrous teams in the league this year.
Super Bowl.
Against basically the Denver Broncos or the Denver My Little Ponies. Miami Dolphins had got a collective 726 yards of offense against the Denver Broncos.
So I guess what you say is those water dolphins brought the heat.
Yes, pretty much, and roasted those horses.
They got that Miami heat.
Yeah. They 726 yards of total offense. They beat the piss out of them, 70-20, I think it was. Jesus. Something like that. I think, 70-20, I believe it was. I just looked at the score, too. But, yeah, they scored 70 points, 726 yards. Within the first, minute of the game, Tua threw a touchdown pass to Tyreek Hill. Within, the first minute.
Yep, good old Hill.
That team is looking like one of the most dangerous teams that people are gonna have to face this year. They are looking good. If they can stay healthy this year, I see them making a really, really long playoff run. If they can stay healthy. And if Tua can continue to play on the way he's been playing, oh man, people are in for some trouble. Next, we have a couple people that had a really really came out to a really hot start in the first two weeks, and then came to a little bit of a slow start, like the Dallas Cowboys. They looked really good their first 2 games.
They're going to the Super Bowl. They're going to the...
Yes, that's what Dallas Cowboys fans believe. And after Trayvon Diggs, one of their better cornerbacks, tore his ACL in practice. They lost today. They lost to the Arizona Cardinals, and the Arizona Cardinals are not a very good team this year.
Yeah.
So they have a bit of a slow week 3. They didn't do so good.
Yeah.
The Buffalo Bills, on the other hand, are quite the opposite. They had a pretty slow start, come out in the first week 1. I think they won their week 2 game, and now today they beat the piss out of whoever they faced, 37-7, I believe.
Oh wow.
Was in the game. So they thoroughly, the Buffalo Bills have made their bounce back, I think, and they found their way and beat the piss out of whoever they were facing. So that was pretty good. Pretty good to see.
I know the Chiefs played, but I don't know who they played. But last I knew it was 37-0.
Yeah. Speaking of that Chiefs game, yes, the Chiefs have officially found their way of winning. Have Taylor Swift show up to every home game possible.
I saw that and I'm like, get it, Trav, get it.
Yes, that's they have found their mojo to winning.
Her next album gonna be fire. It's gonna be good.
Next, that's their way of winning now. Have Taylor Swift show up to every Kansas City home game, and Kansas City will beat the thorough piss out of it, whoever they face at home. Because I guess Patrick Mahomes felt a little bit of the pressure from all the Swifties out there watching the game. Like, you better let Kelsey score a touchdown. And I guess according to the post-game interview, he was like, of course it would be on, I did feel a little bit of the pressure from the Swifties to get Kelsey a touchdown. Of course it was on the play where Kelsey just runs out and does whatever he wants, makes a route, and I throw to him. So he wanted to get in the end zone, and he got there, and they showed a camera angle up to the family box, and she was going nuts. I think she chest bumped somebody that was sitting next to her, I guess, and she was like, "Let's go!"
Oh,
so she was pretty excited about that. So Kansas City, keep that up. Because the first 2 weeks they had some wins. I mean, they lost their week 1. The week 2, they had a really sloppy win. Yep. That was hard to watch. And then week 3, they come out, have Taylor Swift in the stadium, and just obliterated them. Obliterated the Chicago Bears. I mean, obliterated them.
Shake it off. I know my uncle's pissed off.
The Chicago Bears looked like a little bit of the Chicago.
League, Junior League, varsity.
Yeah, they looked like the Chicago, I don't want to say the Chicago Cubs. I don't want to say the Chicago Cubs because they're okay, but they looked like the Chicago Little Doggies.
Chicago Prairie Dogs.
Yes, there you go. The Chicago Prairie Dogs. That's what they looked like because they did not play good, not at all. The Packers and the Saints. The Packers and the Saints was a good game. It was really close. It ended up being a 1 point deal.
Like, reminiscent of the Chiefs versus who would they play their first week? Detroit. Detroit won by 1.
Yeah. It's Green Bay looks like they have a good. So far, they have a decent, promising future with Jordan Love. I mean, obviously, in week 2, the as it writes against the next Green Bay quarterback took ownership of the Chicago Bears and Jordan Love beat piss out of the Chicago Bears week 2 and took ownership. Said nope. Just because Aaron Rodgers is gone doesn't mean that the Green Bay Packers quarterback don't own you, because I do.
Yep.
He took the keys and said thank you. The Jets. Yeah, speaking of Aaron Rodgers, the Jets they don't look good. I don't think. Aaron Rodgers says he's hoping to come back after.
He's talking about a playoff return, isn't
he? He's hoping. He's hoping to come back this year to make a playoff run, but starting the year out 1-3 after losing today does not bode very well for them. No, 1-2. They'd be 1-2. Genius. Starting out 1-2 in the year, not doing very good today. Just does not bode well for a playoff run for them. We have a couple people that ended up going 0-3 this year, and you know that teams that go 0-3, they have like less than a 2 or 3% chance of making the playoffs. Starting out 0-3.
Oof.
Yeah, but there are some teams like that. But however, one of the my personal exciting games to see is that the Baltimore Ravens lost today to the Indianapolis Colts. After Minshew magic happened during the game, happened to step out of bounds from the end zone during the game, but then still led the Indianapolis Colts to an overtime win, where Justin Tucker actually missed a field goal during overtime.
Oh. And
the Indianapolis Colts went down the field on 4th down, brought their kicker out, and he scored the field goal, which was at that point both teams, the next score wins, kicked the field goal and won the game with 2 minutes left in the overtime. So thank you, Indianapolis Colts, because I don't like you, Baltimore. Thank you. Now, the Browns did win today, though, which makes the AFC North an interesting division, because that puts the Baltimore Ravens at 2-1. That puts the Browns at 2-1. Now, barring on Sunday Night Football, which should be starting here in the next couple minutes as we speak, as long as Pittsburgh can win, that'll put them at 2-1. And I think the Bengals play on Monday Night Football, so if they can win, I believe that puts them at 1-2. No. That'll put them 1-2? Yeah, maybe they did. Because they lost week 1. Then the Bengals, I think they did win week 2. Gotta pay attention to the Ravens sometimes. Yeah, did they? If they happen to win on Monday Night Football, I think they should play on Monday. Yeah. That'll put them at 1-2. What happens if they lose? If they lose on Monday night, that means they start 0-3. And with Joe Burrow's calf being still sore, that is not looking that if they lose tonight, today, this week, it is not looking very good for them.
Just pack your bags, boys.
So that puts the Bengals right where they belong, right down at the bottom.
There's whale poop, and then there's you.
Yeah, that's what we say to the Denver Bengals.
I thought you were about to say bagels. I'm like, oh, we talking food?
To the Cincinnati Bagels. If you start 0-3, you are not the Cincinnati Bengals no more. You're the Cincinnati Bagels.
There we go.
Yeah.
Or Beagles. Actually, no, that's an insult to Beagles.
Yeah, you're the Cincinnati Bagels. Not saying the bagels are bad, but
the plain bagel.
The plain bagels, yes. So that a lot of people said that the AFC North division was a little bit disappointing to start out, but I think it's going to start heating up. Because, Baltimore is a bit hindered. They're quite injured. Their running back's out. A couple of their other guys are out. So, that doesn't look good for them. The Browns, with their running back out, that really puts a hurt on them. But Pittsburgh just needs to find their offense. Or fire Matt Canada. Thank you.
Tell them how you really feel.
They just need to find their offense, and I think they could be really good. With Deontay Johnson being out, that hurts it a little bit, but
yeah.
And Cameron Hayward, that's a huge strike too. But as long as T.J. Watt can be healthy and continues his earning 4 sacks already in the first 2 weeks of football, watch out. Because he's going for the sack record this year. If he stays healthy every game this year,
it's over with.
He's got the sack record because he's already tied the sack record. The most sacks in a single season at 17 and a half. Yeah, 17 and a half with yeah. 4 sacks already in the first 2 weeks of football.
Jeez.
Now everybody's saying that T.J. Watt and Myles Garrett is still a debate. It's just no. Because Myles Garrett only has 1 sack this year, so far, in the first 2 weeks of football.
Jeez.
Only 1. But T.J. Watt has already, in the first 2 weeks, has already earned 4 sacks, earned his first defensive touchdown of his career, and also has now sole ownership of the most sacks in a career for Steelers history, at 81.5 going into tonight's game. So we'll see what happens here on Sunday Night Football. The Pittsburgh Steelers against the Las Vegas Raiders in Las Vegas. That should be a good game to watch. That is going to be all for me on today's sports segment. We'll see what happens.
And for some honorable mentions on the sports segment before we switch over to gaming, we do want to acknowledge the people that got released from WWE as of late. Number 1 being Dolph Ziggler.
Yes.
Wish you well, my boy. Honestly, I'm not going to be surprised if he ends up in AEW. If not, oh well. Heard he's got a great stand-up career as a comic. So, but now switching things over to gaming, I did find some more stuff out about Spider-Man 2. I do believe I shared some of it with you. I don't think I shared everything though, but if you're playing as Peter or vice versa, Miles,
I did see that, yes.
You will be able to see the other Spider-Man doing his thing.
That is one of those extra details that makes the game matter.
Because it'll make me feel like I'm playing with someone else. Just like, hey, how's your city going? Oh, it's doing pretty good, bud. How about you? Oh, yeah, I'm doing pretty good. Anyway, another feature that I saw is during a mission or a fight, like a side quest or whatever.
I did see this one as well.
You are going to be able to have a damaged suit that won't repair itself until the mission or the side quest is complete, which I think is a nice add and nod to the detail, the paying attention to detail factor of it. I don't believe I read any more about Spider-Man 2, but
I can add on to this in and adding on to basically to both topics. Yeah. Along with seeing the other Spider-Man going through swinging across the city as you're playing as the other one, and seeing a damaged suit if your Spider-Man's on a mission, you also have the ability to join in on one of those on the fights of the other Spider-Man.
Really?
On a Spider-Man mission, so you can possibly have two Spider-Man fighting fighting during one mission. You can just swing in and if you happen to see it, him doing a mission, or fighting crime, you can go in and help him.
Oh, that'd be sick.
Yeah, just be like swinging in. Oh hey,
how you doing? Boom. Oh yeah, I think I did see that. There was a video of Peter or Miles fighting somebody, and then one of them swung through and went. and it continued. Yeah, so I think that's about it for Spider-Man 2.
Yep.
Minecraft actually did just have an update, the 1.20.30 update, which is now upgrading the wandering travelers. So they have, I believe it was lower prices and better items within their inventory. And I believe it's you don't need to always have emeralds to trade with them or something like that. There's also going to be 7 different biomes where you can find 7 different types of enchanted books based on the biome, and it'll add a little bit of history to that biome. And there's also going to be, I think it said 2 secret biomes, and there's also going to, I believe one of those, or not biomes, villages, and I believe both of those villages are villages that you actually get to basically rebuild to its former self. I mean, it's Minecraft, you'll probably be able to do whatever the hell you want like usual. But I mean, yeah, that's a cool factor in my opinion. Mobs, now if a villager gets turned into a zombie, it will now keep its same profession as it had before it got turned. So if you use a golden apple and whatever else to return it to a normal villager, it will keep that same profession. And I do believe I read it correctly. Now when you play, like let's say me and you are on a game, correct? And you know, one of us goes to sleep and you have to wait for the other person to go to sleep to skip the whole night. It now is going to take a percentage. So let's say you go to sleep. If I'm thinking correctly, if I read it correctly, if you go to sleep, there should be an option for me to skip the night, even though I don't have to, go to the bed or do this or do, like if I'm out in a biome different than you and you go to sleep, I can just skip the night with you. If I read that correctly. I may be totally off about that. They did upgrade their death screen too, so now instead of just the normal first person point of view and it saying you died, it now will expand out to a third person view to show you your surroundings and pretty much how you died. And I did test that. That is a thing that happens now. There's a bunch of other little tiny things in there. Other than that, there is a new game coming out that just ended its beta yesterday, last night. It's called The First Descendant, and I thought it was Starfield. I'm not gonna lie, I thought it was Starfield. It looks like a mixture of Starfield and Warframe wrapped into one, but that is apparently set to release in 2024.
Okay.
Other than that, there's not much more that I know of at the time being for any gaming news. If there is, feel free to comment and I'll do some research and I'll bring it up next time.
2 games are coming out next month. Pretty exciting coming up here. Yeah. I think Spider-Man comes out.
Oh yeah, I think that's October 20th.
Something like that.
Yep. Because I still gotta get a PS5.
There was one more at the beginning. Assassin's Creed Mirage. That one comes out on October 4th. Hopefully I can get it, and hopefully I can actually do a playthrough of it, because I kind of, especially with Baldur's Gate, I kind of got caught up doing my own playthrough, and that went to
And don't worry guys, we are working through the whole schedule for who's going to be playing what, and we will update you guys on that once we figure it out.
Yeah.
So until then, just enjoy these videos.
Hopefully I should start being able to make out the videos, especially with Assassin's Creed Mirage. That should be a good one to play. Spider-Man 2, I will be playing that on here as well. Because Spider-Man 2 is just Spider-Man 2. Why wouldn't I play it on here?
Right.
Duh. Otherwise, I don't think anything else comes out during October.
No. Not to my knowledge. And if there is, obviously I'll bring it up next time. I keep notes, so.
There is a game coming out the month after that I keep thinking about, but I don't remember which one it is.
I'm not sure.
Because Mortal Kombat already came out, didn't it?
I believe so, yeah, because I've been seeing a lot of videos about it. Either that or they're just having a beta, but I feel like they would have announced that and I would have definitely seen it. So yeah, I think that one's already out. Oh yeah, I've been through all that I can think of. We've mentioned football, wrestlers, Spider-Man 2, and Minecraft. Those were my 2 topics for the day.
Okay. This has been, that is going to be all from us today on this episode. I'm going to go watch Sunday Night Football, and then maybe I'll go over the game next time. So, yeah. This has been today's episode of the D&N Show News Today. I don't know why I can say news today, but it'll work. News Today. As always, I have been D&N, and this has always been. We will see y'all next Sunday. News.